Oops, is it on? I think it's on. Yes, it does say it's recording. So this is for Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Everybody say hi, Rebecca.
Rebecca, please.
We miss you. But anyways, we are on page 49 in the grammar book. And we're talking about verbs today. So a verb shows action. You guys already know basically what verbs do. And so this week we're going to learn about action verbs. To determine if a word is a verb, there is a little verb test on this page. On page 49, on the edge here, it just says if you put a word after I or it.
Love.
I love. Yep, that's a good one. I love you. I love you. Aw, I love you too, Diana and Ainsley and Tommy and Rebecca. That is a little test you can do. Now, it doesn't always work great. So another test is if you look at the noun and you ask yourself what the noun is doing, right? If it's a person doing something or if it's a thing doing something, that's another way to find a verb. So in this book now, you're going to label it with a V for verb and an S for subject. Now let's talk about subject. That's the next part on your page there, page 49. A subject is a noun or a pronoun that performs the verb action. It's whatever is doing the action, okay? To find the subject, you ask who or what is doing the verb. Only nouns and pronouns can function as subjects. When I'm down here in the middle, toward the middle of this page, when the subject is a pronoun, it will be one of the subjective case pronouns, I, you, he, she, it, we, they, who, or which. Notice who and which are in there. And we use those in our writing, the who, which clauses. Those are called subjective case pronouns, but don't worry about that yet. We're going to be practicing that more later. They just wanted you to hear that for the first time, so you'll understand more about that later. So you're going to find it by reading the sentence and looking for a word that shows action, and then you are going to ask who or what is doing the verb.
Got it.
So here's your example right here. The soldiers met at the castle. So the verb is met. It's what they're doing. They're having a meeting at the castle, right? They met.
That's what they did.
But who met?
The soldiers.
Soldiers. So soldiers is the subject and met is the verb. And they go together. By the way, they're a pair. The subject and verbs, they go together. Now look down at the who, which clause. You guys are really good about those in your writing because you're using those all the time now. So it says,
I forgot to do the who, which clause in my stuff.
you'll have to fix that.
Mrs. Lord,
Yes.
did you like my messy paper?
I did. I saw that you worked really hard at fixing things and adding things and changing things. And I was like, man, Ainsley's been working hard. It was messy. You were changing stuff.
It's a verb. Shall we read our stories?
Yeah, if we have time, because we're getting started a little late, but that's okay. So here it says, read the who, which clause and look for a word that shows action and ask who or what. Write V above each verb and S above each subject. Look at the first example. I'm at the very bottom of the page here, okay? The king had one daughter who wanted many things. Look at the clause there. It's a who clause, who wanted many things. And in that clause, wanted tells what she did, right? She wanted many things, but the subject says who. Inside a who, which clause, sometimes the subject is actually who, because the whole thing is talking about the daughter, right? When you say who wanted many things, that's talking about the daughter, right? So that whole phrase is basically a subject, the who part of the phrase anyway. Don't worry, that'll get easier as we go. Her bag, look at the very bottom one. Her bag looked like the bag which the soldier owned. Bless you. So they used which because you're talking about a bag. That's not a boy or a girl. Bless you. So the soldier owned. Owned is the verb. And then if you ask yourself who owned it, the soldier owned it, right?
Yeah.
It says right there at the very bottom. So the subject is soldier and the verb is owned. I'm getting hot now. Let me turn this off. It's hot now.
It's too hot.
Start sweating. Okay, let's practice. Go ahead and turn the page. Oh, just kidding. There's a little bit more in the back.
No, just kidding.
Page 50. Page 50, we have a couple more things to talk about on the back. It says, think about it. Did you guys know that a lot of words can be used as different parts of speech? Like the same word can be either a noun or an adjective or a verb, but it depends on how it's used in the sentence. That's what's hard about English is we have the same word and we can,
different.
well, sometimes it's spelled exactly the same, like this one, the word light, L-I-G-H-T. Look at right where it says noun, the light hurt my eyes.
Or it's super light. Like
Yeah.
light. It's light right here.
Oh, light to hold. That's true. That's another way to use it. But if you're talking about the light, like, have you guys ever been camping and your little brother, or big brother, or whoever
That's what we
shines a flashlight in your face? Have they ever done that at night before? It's like,
No,
don't shine it in my face.
Like my brother's not really that. He doesn't like.
That's good. Good.
And then it hurts your eyes because your eyes have basically technically built-in night vision.
That's true. And you adjust to the dark.
And
And
then you can basically see almost anything. I can see when it's.
but then when you shine a light in your face, then it
and
hurts.
it's like, wait,
Ow.
what?
I know you can't see
I
after
can
that.
see it when you shine a light at something else, you can see it better.
That's right. Away
Not
from
shining
you.
yourself.
Yes. So the light hurt my eyes. So it's a thing, right? The light, like that light or a flashlight. But then it shows the light rain was falling. It's talking about the rain. It's like a sprinkle,
Like
you know, when it rains a little bit.
Wait, what?
Or that too, like it's lightweight. Yep, that's true too. That's also an adjective. And then here, the last example is a verb. The lamps light the room. That's telling what the lamps are doing, right? That makes it an action word.
I was gonna say the light lights the room. Like
Yeah,
the
you
light-
could, because the light
light-
noun lights the room. That's kind of repetitive, you know, because using the same word, but that would work though still. But you're right. So if it lights the room, it's doing something. That means it's a verb. All right, go ahead and go to the practice page. Let's do this one together. Who wants to read it today?
Oh
my goodness. All right, Juliana, how about you?
After a few minutes, she asked him about his unusual bag.
Good. Okay. Unusual. You
Okay.
guys know what that means? Yeah, what does that mean?
Unusual is like not normal.
Not normal. Good way to explain that. Good. Let's put a check mark by that.
Yeah.
And then the articles, go ahead and do that.
A and the.
Yep, a and the. There's only one, so find it.
A.
Put AR.
Found
And
it.
then Ainsley, what about the nouns? There's two.
Person, place, or thing.
Yes.
She.
She is a pronoun, actually. So think about,
Bag.
there you go, bag is one.
You just said one of the pronouns.
I did.
I'm just gonna put the
So,
minutes.
and minutes, good, because we have that word a, that article a, that means a noun is coming. So minutes is the noun after that. So how about Tommy? How about the pronouns? She,
Him.
him, yep.
Wait.
And there's only two.
Wait, but what does his?
Okay, good eyeball. I'm glad you found his, but that one is not a pronoun because it's telling whose bag. That makes it an adjective. Ah, they tricked you right there.
No.
Tommy knew. Yeah, Tommy knew. So Juliana, what are the adjectives? I just gave you one. No, his. Remember, few. Tells how many. Yep, few. And did you put it on top of his also?
Oh, that's your adjective. His?
Because it's telling whose bag. So his is an adjective,
And asked.
not asked. That's an action.
Unusual.
There you go. It's telling what kind of bag, right? Remember, adjectives tells which one, what kind, how many, those types of things. Let's come back to the prepositional phrases because that one's a little tricky to do. So Ainsley, let's talk about the subject verb pair. Where is the verb, the action word in that sentence? What's the action word here?
About.
No, what is she doing? Asked. There you go. So put a V on top of asked.
Wait,
That's
but
a
we did
verb.
prepositional phrase.
We're coming back to that.
Oh,
So Ainsley, who asked? Who's the subject in the sentence?
the princess? Wait, no.
No, there's no princess word on there. No, you have to look at an actual word there.
He?
Calm down, Juliana. She is the subject. So you're going to write S on top of the PR. That's the only time there's two labels is when you're labeling the subject. It's usually a pronoun or a noun. That's a subject. Okay. So good job there. Now, Tommy, the prepositional phrases are going to be a lot easier to find now because they don't have a label on it yet. So look for the words that don't have anything on top of it yet.
After and about.
Good. So after is a preposition, but the whole phrase stops on the noun. So what's the whole phrase? After.
Wait, what do I do with after?
Good. Stop at minutes. Stop at minutes. After a few minutes. That is the prepositional phrase because you start on the preposition after and you end on either a noun or a pronoun.
PH?
No, you just need to underline it. That's how you label it. Okay, Tommy, do you see the second one? About?
Is unusual bad.
There you go. The whole phrase is about his unusual bag. It stops on a noun, remember, sometimes a pronoun. But that's why we save that for last, okay, Juliana? Because the prepositional phrases are easier to find at the end because it's usually a word.
Do it at the end then.
So listen though, that because it's usually a word that doesn't have a label on it yet. So that's how you know which one it is. That'll help you find it. Okay, so Juliana, what word should be capitalized?
After.
Yes, and after. And then Ainsley, what should the end mark be?
Period.
A period. You got it. So we got it all. Go ahead and you're going to do the homework for this week is going to be 52, 53, and 54.
Can we just finish this then?
No.
Yeah.
We go through this every week, Juliana. Okay, let's go on to the binder. Go ahead and get out your binders. And you're going to get out everything for King Midas.
And read it.
Get out everything for King Midas, and you need to take your binders out here.
Pages like one the front and the back.
Oh, good. You wrote a long story then. I
Can I
did.
read mine? Can I read mine?
We'll see if we have time, but get your stuff out first. Oh, you got your binder right here. Go ahead and get out all of King Midas. Juliana, I know we have so much to do though. We got to make sure to save time for everything. I know you want to read it. Let's check some things first, and then I will let you read them, okay?
My paper is messy. I can't
Let's look for.
Good. Thank you.
Isn't that funny how you would be like, thank you for my messy paper?
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah. It's
But I
okay
didn't-
if it does. Okay, let me explain that to you. I don't want you to go out of your way to make it messy, but if you're fixing things and it ends up messy, that's okay.
That's what happened. I just really have so much mistake.
Yeah, I noticed yours is nice and clean, and that's good too. Okay, look at your paragraph. Your paragraphs, you should have 3 paragraphs about King Midas. I want you to look for ly adverbs and who, which clauses in each paragraph. So go ahead and get out your paragraph, Tommy.
I already looked at it.
Make sure you have it. Give me a thumbs up if you have ly adverb and who, which. I think you're missing something there. In each paragraph.
Mom printed it all
Oh, yeah.
together, but I did a new one.
Okay.
I can't remember which clause. I remember I did. I promise I did. I did.
Wait, in each paragraph though? Not just one in the whole thing. You gotta have one in each paragraph. And I see that you do. Give me 5. Yeah.
Mine too. Which she said wrong.
Now, when you underline it though, for the who, which clause, you only underline who or which, not the whole clause.
Our mom was typing it. So
Yeah.
I said, I'm not sure if you're supposed to underline it.
Oh, just the one word. I'll remind her. I'll put a note on here.
Oh.
But I do see that you have your ly adverbs and your who, which clauses. So good job with that.
Mine is, I underlined.
You did. Oh, good. Yes, you did. Did you have a who, which clause? And you got which.
Which, that's the only thing I put
Do
in
you
all of
see?
them.
Let me see.
But I put LY, a lot of LY words.
Get your pencil out though and underline them then.
I was kidding.
You
But
need to have.
indent. I forgot to.
Yeah, I forgot to indent. You need to have one LY word in each paragraph to underline it too. Okay, get your pencil out. Hurry up. You got it. Okay, and then indenting is good too. You need to make sure to do that part. Did you come up with a new title for your story?
Yes.
Good. Okay, Ainsley, what's your new title?
King Midas loves his people.
Nice. What's your new title?
Our mom had, we kind of did it a little bit late at night, so
Oh,
then
okay.
she had put King Midas at the top, and we were gonna put a title, and then she just, we never.
You left it. Did you come up with a new title yet?
No.
Okay, think about a new title. How about you, Juliana?
Be grateful and generous.
Nice. I like your title. So it could be something like that. Remember the title rule, you have to look at your final sentence and then you pick 1 to 3 keywords from your final sentence for your title. So look at your final sentence there.
Mine is King
I'm going to
Midas
have
loves
Tommy read. Let's help Tommy come up with a new title.
his-
What is your last sentence,
King
Tommy?
Midas was now very
Generous.
generous and grateful
Good.
for everything returning to normal.
Good. So what could we do for a title? Look for 1 or 2 or 3 of those words. What kind of a title could you pick?
Don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy. Did he use greedy in there? I don't think he used greedy. He has generous. He has grateful.
Be generous and nice and grateful.
There you go.
That was mine.
Oh, is there more?
Be generous and grateful. That was yours. Yeah.
Do you like that title, Tony?
Oh, mine is.
I'll write it right here so you can copy it down, okay? Be generous.
But mine was be grateful and generous, and his is gonna be
Is
generous
backwards.
and grateful. I can do.
You could.
Fancy.
Be generous and grateful. By the way, since we're talking about titles right now, I do want to talk to you about how to capitalize
And also,
titles.
Second, I don't get it. Like, how do you know when to indent a story? How do you know?
Okay, that's a good question.
At the
Let's talk about that
start.
really quick. At the beginning of your paragraph, so you know how we do outlines that have Roman numerals in the outline? You know what I'm talking about? Like, get out your outline really quick. Each one of those, you're gonna indent. So like here, Roman numeral 1, indent that sentence, and then the rest of the paragraph. Then Roman numeral 2, indent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
On your paragraph part.
No.
No, you're not. On your outlines, that's how you know a new paragraph begins. So anytime a new paragraph begins, that's when you indent. Okay. Now, title rules. Notice that the first word in a title is always capital. So make sure your first word, yours is B, yours is king. The first word is always capital. Now look at your keywords in your title. Like here I have generous, that's a keyword, that one's going to be capitalized. And is not. So I'm not going to capitalize the A here because it's not a keyword, right? But grateful is. So check your title. There you go. And make sure that those keywords, but the first word is always capital.
Like mine? Mine good?
Yes, King Midas loves his people, and his is actually capitalized too, because that's an important word to have in the title. It tells whose people, his people. So good job. Also, you do not need a period after a title. Okay, so don't put a period there. It's just going to be the words only. Okay, now you got a title, and that's a good one for you. All right, Juliana, let's hear your story first. You can go ahead and read yours.
Okay. Be grateful and generous.
Okay.
Once there was a man, and his name was King Midas. He was greedy and selfish. He had a lot of gold, he had jewelry, and his house was decorated. without being filled with gold.
You can put it in really quick. Just put a little carrot in there and squeeze it in.
Like that.
Uh-huh. It looks like a V shape, basically.
I put mine like a point of care like that.
By the way, notice how when you read it out loud, you catch those little things. So make sure you do that at home too, okay? It's okay.
That's why I read them.
Wait. Ah, dang it.
In the wrong
I'm
spot? Uh-oh. I'll pretend I didn't see you erase that.
Because
You just broke the law. It's right, they're coming for you. Okay, it's okay, Julian.
With gold. Stick it out. You're going to
Okay,
jail.
keep going. Okay, go ahead.
He was dissatisfied.
Ooh,
My
nice.
God.
Did you tell him about that word? That's
No,
funny.
he's like, oh my gosh. And then he started laughing. So hard.
That's funny.
And I was just like, no, he didn't put that in. He was like,
That's
"Ah."
funny. That's so funny.
But he was dissatisfied and wanted more.
Good.
And then I put and instead of that. And then it is supposed to be Andrew.
What does it say?
It says and a very strange visitor.
No, yeah, I like then. Go ahead and draw a line through and. Don't erase
This
it.
time I'm not
Capital-
breaking the rules.
Capitalize T though, and then, because it's a new sentence, right? So you gotta have that capital in there. There you go. Okay, then, good.
Then a very strange visitor came and he
He said,
said, I will grant you one wish. Well then, this is what King Midas said. I put the little quotation.
oh yeah, that's good.
Whatever I touch is gold.
Whatever I touch, turn to gold, maybe?
Here. Will be gold.
There you go.
Yeah.
Draw a line through it. There you go. Will be. There you go. Whatever I touch will be gold.
Will.
So that's where your new paragraph starts,
I'm
right?
gonna put B also. Be gold. Be gold.
There you go.
Which he said loudly.
Nice.
Wait.
So I'm gonna put a little, hold on, I'm gonna put a little symbol here. This is where remember that paragraph symbol? That's where you should indent next time, okay? When you get to that part. Go ahead.
Which he said loudly.
Good.
He touched the table, rug, chairs, and he was very happy. But when he touched his bed, he was not happy. He touched his food, water, and flowers.
Mhm.
He was not happy.
Yes.
And then his daughter came to give him a hug. Oh no! His daughter is now gold! He extremely regretted what he did.
Good.
The strange visitor came back and said, go to the river to wash your hands. And he tested to touch a rock and did not have the gold touch. And now King Midas is now.
Oh, you have now
And now
twice.
King
You've
Midas
just crossed out. There you
is
go.
grateful and generous.
Good. Everybody clap for Juliana. Let's see. I'm gonna put a little paragraph symbol right here. Meaning right where you have he extremely regretted what he did. That's this part. See how you have extremely, so that's where the paragraph goes, okay? And that's when you go down to the next one and indent. But you got everything else. Underline extremely. You forgot to underline that one. And then did you have a who or a which clause in that last one? That's the one you forgot. Okay, let me see. But you got it here. And
loudly.
that's good. Let's see, did you get it in the first paragraph though?
No.
So look for a place in the first paragraph where you can put an ly word. Think about that. Okay, Ainsley, let me hear yours, and you can hear hers. Maybe you'll get some ideas from her too.
Wait, can I put King Midas was sadly reading?
Yes, that's a good spot for it.
King Midas was
So do a little carrot right here after was. and then underline it. Okay, go ahead, Ainsley.
King Midas loves his people. King Midas is a really greedy and selfish king. King Midas's house is decorated in gold, and he has gold jewelry. A strange visitor knocked on the door, and King Midas opened the door. He was wondering who it was. The stranger said he would grant one wish. He would grant King Midas one wish. King Midas wanted whatever he touched to turn to gold. His table, chairs, even his bed. He can't eat food. His really pretty flowers lost their smell and turned to gold. His daughter wanted to give him a hug, but gave him a hug, gave him a big hug, but she turned to gold. King Midas was extremely regretful and repented. The visitor had mercy on him. The visitor said, "Go to the river and wash your hands." King Midas ran really fast to the river. Then King Midas touched a rock and it was normal. King Midas is now a generous man, loves his people.
Good. Let's clap for Ainsley. Nice. And I see that you have a lot of changes in there, which is good. When you make a change, though, don't scribble. Remember, just one line. Try to do one. I know it's hard. Trust me, Juliana knows it's hard.
I was begging her to
But-
skip last year.
But I just want one line next time, but it's okay that you fixed a lot of things. So Tommy, we're a little out of time. So next week I'm gonna have you go first to share, okay? So let's put this away now, guys. We're putting away King Midas.
Wait, tell me. You what?
Hold on, we're going on, guys, because we gotta get out the next story. So put this behind finished compositions. You need your binders out. Go to the back here. Behind finished compositions. Oh, this is right here. All of this needs to go back here. Remember how I had this one on top? Okay.
Even the camels.
Oh yeah, that should be put away too. I don't know why I still have that one.
Know how to indent.
Well,
I know we did, but I forgot.
You can put all those right here, or either on the back of that, either way, because we'll close it up and it'll work out. Put it behind finished compositions. Oh, and you don't have holes in this here. I'll keep this one for now. And then I'll write some notes on it.
I can talk for it.
I'm gonna put notes on there for your mom, because I know she likes to see what I add to your paper there. And then once you have it, you could. I keep forgetting to bring one for you guys. Now go to the front and get out the next
I'm
week,
still getting more paper in.
which is why opossum has a bare tail. I know you like this. So go ahead and get out week 7. Why opossum has a bare tail.
This was the last one that we did, right?
Oops. Are you still putting away stuff? Oh, I see.
But a passing point.
Camels, that goes behind camels. I see what you're doing there.
This is week 7.
Week 7.
I'm gonna do like week 20.
Now you can put this one on the back of that. There you go. Put that one on the back of that.
That's when I try writing my name when I sprained my arm.
You know what your dad's real name is?
Yeah.
Isn't it Adam?
Yeah, how did you know?
He used to be our waitress at the restaurant.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
So when it's a boy, though, it's called waiter. And if it's a girl, it's called waitress.
my dad's
So
a girl.
he was the waiter at the restaurant.
Well,
That was fun going to the restaurant to
But
see him,
now he's not.
which is probably better for him because he's home.
My possum has a barb.
I'm sure he did, but he's home with you guys now, so that's a good thing. Yeah, that goes with.
Those.
No, that's it. That's it. No, you don't.
Oh,
Take out that one. So did you get it all out? Good, Tommy. There's a bunch of pages. Let's see.
Oh yeah, no, it's the
It's 1, 2, 3, 4 pages that you're getting out.
I got, I don't know, 5, 6. That was
A little red
Okay.
pen.
That one's next, yeah. Okay, so
Oh,
let's look at
and
the,
the paper, right?
yes, you do need a piece of
We
paper.
got the little red head.
A blank.
Yeah, we did.
I think we did. I think we stopped on that one.
No, we did
No?
read it.
Did you do a little red hand?
Yeah.
That's next.
Go ahead and get out a lined piece of paper, and we're gonna start with the blue page, this one that says banned words.
Oh yeah.
Page 57. We're gonna learn 2 of them.
But I already wrote all of mine, so I don't have to do anything.
You can listen.
Where did my pencil go?
I want
Oh, this one's mine.
extra papers, but when I do have my house, I already have an extra paper. I don't have to take out another paper.
Do
Okay.
you have pencil sharpener?
I
I do.
don't. Oh, good. There you go. She has one. So banned words. Okay, listen while you guys are doing that. Banned words means you cannot use these words anymore in your writing, not because they're bad words, but because they're boring words. So you're going to have to think about a better word to use than these. So I'm on the blue page. There you go. You know how at the very top of the box, there's a box that looks like this with a line through it? That means you're going to write a word in there, and then that word is now going to be banned. The first one is say, and then we're gonna put slash said. See how I have say said? Go ahead and write that at the very top. At the very top, say said. And then the other one is see saw. We're gonna put it like this, see slash saw. They go in the box that has the line through it. There you go. And that means you can't use these words anymore. So it's going to challenge you to come up with a better word. And I know Juliana has a list going already there, so she can help us. Don't tell us the whole list.
Okay, so I have this.
Under say said, what's one of the words we could say, we could put instead of say said? What do you have, Juliana? Just give me one.
Shouted.
Shouted. What? Let's hear from Tommy. And so you're going to make a list under that in the box. These are good words that you can use. Okay, so put shouted underneath say said. What else, Ainsley, could we put instead of say said? We have shouted. She's thinking. What's another way to say something?
Laughing.
Laughing, or you can put laughed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that one.
I
Juliana.
do, I do.
Oh, you do. I was gonna say you could add it. Laughed. Like if the person is laughing and talking at the same time. Okay, Tommy, what's another one?
What's that?
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
We already have that one. Shouted,
Can I say one?
laugh, let him think, and then I'm coming back to you. What's like the opposite of shouted, if you wanted to say something?
Quiet.
Okay, but what is a way to say it quietly, like?
Low. Whisper.
Whisper. Whisper is a good one. Especially if your character in your story is trying to be sneaky or quiet. So we got shouted, laughed, whispered. Okay, what else, Juliana?
Mumbled.
Mumbled. Ooh, that was from The Bald Man and the Fly, huh? Mumbled.
He was very mad at the fly.
He was. He went. Why? What else, Ainsley? Can you think of anything else?
Asked.
Yes, asked is a good one.
He asked her to pass
Mhm.
him a prayer.
So now these are all great to use. By the way, these are all strong verbs. Now we've talked about verbs in grammar, and sometimes verbs are weak. I want to talk about that just for a second. Because when a verb is weak, like if I said the dog went after the cat.
You said a banned word.
I know,
So-
sometimes I say it when I'm talking. I'm talking about for writing only, okay? So, if I say the dog went after the cat, went is a weak verb, right? It's a verb, it means it's an action, but went is not a very strong word. What if I said the dog chased after the cat? That's a better word, right? So that would be considered a strong verb, chased. So what you're gonna have now on your checklist is strong verbs. You're gonna see that in a minute on your checklist. And that just means one of these would be considered a strong verb. Okay, these are good words to put. In fact, in the margin over here where the holes are in your blue page, let's just put the word strong verbs and then an arrow that way. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, out here.
Yeah, outside in the margin. Because these are good examples of strong verbs that you can use in place of weak verbs, right? What is another one you have on yours, Juliana, under say said? You have any ones that we don't have yet? Oh, maybe you have, oh, okay.
I have, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4.
How about, we'll add one more. How about yelled? It's kind of like shouted, but sometimes yelled. Okay, and then let's talk about seesaw.
Seesaw?
I know.
know, that's what I said. I'm like, seesaw.
Seesaw? It means both see and saw, because they're both the same word. It's just one,
like a seesaw to ride.
like a teeter totter.
I know that's what I said last year.
I remember that.
Seesaw.
Seesaw. So this is like say is present tense and said is past tense, right? I like to put all past tense here because that's usually how we write, is in past tense. So I have all of my ending in ed. You probably noticed that. So
Everyone.
seesaw. So what can we say instead of saw? You guys have a good idea? Instead of see or saw. Instead of I saw the fox, I
Bird.
spotted. Well, heard is different because that's with your ears. Think about with your eyes. I spotted a fox. I
Looked at one?
yes, at a fox. Yep.
Hold on.
Can I say another one?
Let's see if Ainsley can think of one. What's another one? I saw a fox. I spotted a fox. I looked at a fox. Do you have one?
Well, you said I saw a fox.
I started with that example. You are like the banned words police today.
Is that steal? What you were arrested
What did
for
you say?
Not for sale one.
Okay.
Wait, that's what-
No. How about this one? Spied. I spied a fox.
Can I say it?
Yes, you can say no.
Notice.
Noticed. That's another good one. Okay, what's another one, Juliana?
Observed.
Observed.
Yeah, high five. You have five.
I'm gonna hold this up just so that Rebecca can make sure to see. You can pause it there, Rebecca, if you need to. Okay. Good. So now these are also strong verbs. All of these words underneath the banned words are now strong verbs, and these are better to use than these boring words up here. So it's going to be a challenge, especially because our next story is about an opossum. This is going to be hard to stay away from because it'll be easy to try to use saw, but I don't want you to use see or saw anymore. Now, let's get out your lined piece of paper. Did you guys get all this down?
We didn't see.
That's for later. We're not doing that one yet.
Are we gonna do
What
that
time
next
is
week?
it?
No, in a couple weeks.
It's 10:29.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
We need to set up our story sequence chart.
Story sequence chart.
Remember, put your name and date here at the top left.
We do our
Today's-
last name.
Yep,
Where did my 2 blank pieces of paper go?
right here.
Oh, thanks.
Title is Y, and you can copy it on your
Why
opossum has a bear, and I'm gonna go off my page because I didn't make my page big enough. Here, make it bigger.
You forgot to put the holes in the paper.
Some paper.
And the other
Holes
one
in paper.
outside and we're done.
Yeah, sure.
Then we have SSC. Who remembers what SSC stands for? Okay, there you go.
Come on.
You can keep copying this. I'm gonna keep going because we're running out of time here, but remember, we're gonna draw a line down a little bit to the left of your page. For a second. Let me move this over just a little bit more. Right about there.
Wait, I'm not done. I need to put the thing.
Okay, no talking, just writing, okay? Because we have a lot to do to catch up here. Good.
There.
I went past the line.
That's okay. These are just, this is just the notes, so you don't have to worry about it on this page.
Sure.
On the right side of the line, go ahead and just keep copying, Tommy. Don't worry, I'll slow down in a second. You're gonna put Roman numeral 1, and then underneath that, 1, 2, 3. Skip a line. Roman numeral 2. Remember how we set this up?
Are we gonna do 4?
Nope, just 3.
At the skin where my dermatologist is,
Yeah.
they have they don't have numbers, so they use Roman numerals.
Oh, that's cool. So that's another place you see it, huh?
So I'm kind of used to this.
Good. Good. Okay. Right on top of the Roman numeral 1,
Wait, do we have to put the lines?
we're gonna trace it across,
Oh, yeah.
right on top, Roman numeral 1, right on top of Roman numeral 2, right on top of Roman numeral
Is
3.
it okay if it's wiggly? Cause my
Yes. And then wherever your bottom line is, it could be, you know, lots of spaces. It's okay.
I just
Mine's
marked it out
wiggly
for
too.
people.
It doesn't really matter.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Who remembers what we talk about first in a story? What do we talk about
The
first?
character.
Characters, good. Go ahead and put characters
You said it.
/ setting.
That's what we did last time, right?
Yep. Characters / setting.
I'm gonna not obey the rule. I am race.
Ah. And then what? We answer these questions. Remember who,
Which?
where, not which.
Oh, who which one?
And
I was
then,
thinking of who which clause.
oh yeah. Who, where, and when. Those are the questions we answer in that. This is an N, by the way. That's, I didn't spell that very nicely. Hold on.
Is there 2 T's?
Yes.
Who?
SETTING. That's what it should look like.
You barely even see the G. Who, where?
Ooh, excuse me. Whew. Who remembers what happens in the middle?
The problem?
Yes, good. Conflict.
Oh no, I'm not ready.
I'm gonna leave it here. Don't worry.
Where?
And we're asking what? I'll stop there for a second. Need a tissue anyway, so I'll do that.
Slash plot. I might have spelled problem wrong, but whatever. We're not gonna die.
Well, you have a minute, you might as well check and see if you got it right. Problem. What, what about,
I just-
oh yeah, don't forget to put the word what there. What happens, what did we talk about last in a story? Because we have a
The
problem.
end.
Yeah, but what did we talk about that we have a
What
problem?
happened?
Yeah,
The place.
how it was solved.
Solved.
There you go. There's two words. One of them is
Climax.
climax. The other one is resolution. There you go. Resolution. So climax, resolution, and then you're right, Ainsley. How solved. Good. That's the basic sequence of a story. So we've got characters and setting are introduced first. Conflict and the problem is in the middle, and then the climax resolution or the solution, like how did it get solved? Each one of these is a paragraph. So Juliana, now you know each one is going to indent on a new line for a paragraph. So you're going to write 3 paragraphs again. But this week, because we're running out of time, I don't know, I might not have you do all 3. We'll see how far we get. So now let's look at the story. Let's read Why Opossum Has a Bare Tail.
Can I read? Can I get
I'm actually going to read it this time. I'm going to read it this time. You guys. All right, you guys just follow along. We're almost there, Tommy. Good job. And then be thinking about these parts of the story. Be thinking about who's in the story, right? Where are they? And what the problem is, okay? And then how it gets solved. So be thinking about these things as we read the story.
I know who they are. I know what's happened. I know what's the problem.
Oh, don't say so.
Don't spoil it for everybody else because this is new to them. So eventually we'll get to stories that you haven't done yet, and then it'll be more interesting for you. Then you won't know.
Which is fun.
Yes, it's also fun. Okay, good, Tommy. Why Opossum Has a Bare Tail. So I'm going to read and you guys follow along with your inside your head. Long ago, when the first animals roamed the land and all of them could talk, Opossum had a long, white, furry tail. Okay, I'm going to stop there for a second. Do you guys know what an opossum is?
Yes.
Have you seen one before?
They have a long, bald tail.
They
and
do.
it's pink.
They do. In fact, on the back, you can see a little cartoon picture of a possum. It's almost like a rat tail. There no hair on it. Okay. And
One time a mouse got in our house. In the house.
Yeah, that's
Then
happened to me before.
Then Dad opened the back door. Then the mouse ran out and nobody chasing after our cats.
Well, good. They were doing their job. That's they were doing their job. That's good. Okay, so can animals talk to each other?
No.
No, not like we do, right? Maybe they make sounds.
Maybe cats can talk to cats, dogs can talk to dogs.
But it's different than us talking to each other, right? So this is already, we know it's a fantasy, right? It's already a fiction story. It's made up, right? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Opossum, he was proud of his tail. But one afternoon he spied Raccoon preening himself on a branch of a tree. Preening just means like how cats do, how they clean themselves. They're just licking their paws. Yeah, and they do this, yeah. Mhm. So Raccoon's tail with its lustrous rings looked so elegant in the setting sun that Opossum became jealous and wished for such a tail. So he waddled over to Raccoon's tree, looked up, and asked politely, "How did you get those pretty rings on your tail?" By the way, raccoons, you know, they have stripes on their.
Oh yeah.
I saw one before. I saw one before.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Now, Raccoon was a haughty and mischievous character who looked down upon Opossum. Raccoon determined to play a cruel trick on him. "Well, I wrapped cedar bark around my tail here and here and here and here," he demonstrated. "Then I placed my tail in the coals of a fire, and the fur between the bark turned black. But the rest remained white, as you can see." Thanking Raccoon, Opossum rushed away to gather some cedar bark. That's wood, right? Cedar is wood.
All of it.
He wrapped strips around his tail just as Raccoon had instructed. Then he went to the clearing in the forest where many of the animals were enjoying a big bonfire. When the fire died down, go ahead and turn it over. He turned and placed his tail in the red hot coals. However, the coals were still so hot that Opossum's fur and the bark caught fire. His tail was burning like a torch. He panicked and jumped into the pond to put out the flames. When Opossum saw his poor naked tail, he wailed and moaned. Although he waited years for his lovely white fur to grow back, it never did because the tail was too badly burnt. It remained bare for the rest of his life, and all his children, and all his children's children, and all his children's children's children have had bear tails ever since.
Wait, but he said all of his.
His.
So he gave birth?
No, he's the dad of his children. It's just like your dad is you're still his daughter. His children. So that's why they have bear tails. Do you think it's a true story? No, but it is funny and it's kind of sad for this guy right here. And you can see now why his face is like looking at his tail. So he's not happy. All right.
He could trick the raccoon out to show him, and then should tell him a different story how he got how to get to his.
How was he alive on the children?
They're just saying like so in the future, even after he died, all of the children in his family forever and ever, they all have bear tails, and that's why they're bear now, right? Okay, so let's talk about the characters in the setting first, right? Who's the character? There you go. Opossum, we can put him here. Opossum is, it's one P. He is the main character. And we got to tell a little bit about him. What kind of character is he? Like, what are some things to describe the opossum in the beginning? Remember how he felt in the beginning? What do you think, Tommy?
Happy.
Sad, jealous.
Jealous. I think that's a good one because remember he saw Raccoon and he's like, "Oh, I want a tail like Raccoon's tail."
But he already had a beautiful tail. A beautiful chair.
Right? He was jealous, but it says in the beginning, he was proud of his tail.
No.
But then he was jealous too. So let's put proud and jealous. I think that's a good one. That tells us his character. That means this is telling about him, describing him, right? He was proud and jealous. And then what was his tail like in the beginning?
Fluffy and white.
Fluffy, white, fluffy, white tail.
That's my name in Roblox. Fluffy.
Oh, that's cute.
In the cat game. That's my name.
Fluffy white tail.
Fluffy. White.
You know what? And I had you put jealous, but we didn't know he was jealous until he saw a raccoon later, right? So I wonder if we should change that one.
Happy.
Okay. Or maybe greedy. Did you feel like maybe he was greedy? Don't erase.
Don't you?
I
can't
already
erase
erased.
you.
Perfect, see?
Just cross the
Let's
line.
do one line through jealous, because he wasn't jealous yet. Maybe greedy. Can we put greedy
I
instead?
don't have room.
Uh-oh. You can put it next to it over here if you need to, Ainsley. Or above it, that's
Or
okay
you could
too.
just erase.
No. Okay, I got it.
She's trying not to. On these, honestly, it's not breaking the law if you have to erase, because these are our notes, but it's okay.
See?
It's okay.
Oh.
He has a fluffy white tail, but then who does he see?
Raccoon.
Raccoon. We can
Raccoon.
talk about the raccoon.
Raccoon, spy, jealous.
Okay, yes, he did. Oops, there's two C's
Or
in raccoon.
spy, raccoon, jealous.
CCOON.
CCOO?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
But why was he jealous of the raccoon?
Because it's fluffy tail.
Uh-huh.
Raccoon.
Should we put jealous tail? Or should we say
Jealous tail.
jealous? Oh, but you know what? Then it sounds like the raccoon was jealous. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Is
Let's
it
talk about
opossum jealous.
what kind of a tail does raccoon have?
Luxurious. Luxurious.
Ooh, luxurious. I like that one. Luxurious.
Do you even know how to spell these?
Not this one.
Oh, I messed up. I have to
Is it
cross.
IOUS? I think it is.
I totally didn't erase.
right now.
No, that doesn't look right. Hold on.
Instead,
I know how to do it.
Yeah, your pulse tail.
Is it in the story? I thought it was.
But before the CC.
Oh, lustrous is what
wait.
we have in the story.
R.
It's
Luxurious.
STROU.
Luxurious.
I just copy from mine.
You can copy.
LUXUR.
Wait, no, it's
I-O.
LUS. Right?
Now yours, the story says lustrous, but you said luxurious.
Oh, yeah.
Which one do you like?
Luxurious.
Okay. This is luxurious. LUXUR. Luxurious.
I broke the rule.
And his tail also had stripes, right? Let's put stripes.
Or rings. Is it rings?
Rings. Okay.
And you wanted a P there.
I know, I was gonna fix that. Rings. I'm having trouble with my writing today.
I already know how to spell rings.
There we go. I know how to spell rings.
Easy.
I do know how to spell rings. Well, okay, so along comes a possum and he looks up into the tree and he's like, oh. And then what does he say? What does he ask Raccoon?
How do you get that beautiful striped ringed
Yes,
tail?
so the
How did you get
opossum, I'm gonna put O with a circle around it. Let's circle the O up here too. That tells us we're talking about opossum. How
Looks like a
get
donut. It looks like a donut.
tail
How?
We're doing exactly.
pretty? Maybe we could put, and then draw a little tail here. Because remember his tail was striped, so we're gonna draw stripes. It kind of looks like a tail. Kind of, sort of. How get pretty tail? Let me fix my tail. That doesn't.
Not a good idea.
Show Rebecca. Don't forget she's on there.
Yes.
I already knew. I already knew. Here we go.
Okay. So we are going to stop after this because we are out of time.
So we're
already.
gonna do the rest.
So you're just going to write one paragraph this week.
Yes.
And then we're going to save 2 and 3 for next week. Okay.
Oh.
So hold on though, before you put things away, don't fold it. You don't need to fold that. Look at your checklist really quick. I know we're a little bit late, but that's okay. Notice on your checklist, you have a new dress up word. So now you're going to underline 3.
Oh.
It's strong verbs. Remember, you can use this list on your blue page for strong verbs. And now you have banned words. Do you see those on here too? Check for banned words, say, said, and seesaw. Don't use those. just write the first paragraph.
We can do shouted, whispered, mumbled, and asked, laughed, yelled, right?
All that.
Yep. Yep, those are good ones. First paragraph only. Okay. Good job, you guys. So you're just writing one paragraph and we're gonna finish up this next week. All right, everybody say bye to Rebecca.
Bye.
Hope you feel better.
I feel better.